This was a big upset. Yes, you say Glasgow is a very good team. They've won the tournament before, but the team that Glasgow put out compared to the team Leinster put out, this is a really big upset. I mean, Leinster had players like Kelleher, Arges Snyman, Jack Conan, Sam Prendergast, Robbie Henshaw, Rico Ioane, Hugo Keenan, some phenomenal players here. Kieran Frawley, some British and Irish Lions players, some really big time players for Ireland. And Glasgow, on the other hand, were missing a lot of their players. They were missing the likes of Hugh Jones, Sione Tuipulotu, Carl Steyn. They were missing a lot of their big time players, and they played with not a second string team, but not their strongest team at all, and they still got a really good 38 points to 17 win against Leinster. This is huge. It has a lot of ramifications on how the table will play out, and I think the last thing teams want to do right now, honestly, the last thing teams want to do right now is have to play Glasgow in the playoffs. I think if you want to play Glasgow in the playoffs, you're probably hoping it's just in the final, because Glasgow right now looks like the team to beat. And I did not think I'd be saying that before the season. I thought they'd be a top 4 team, but did I think they'd be the team to beat? No ways. Honestly, I did not. And it's just the team that Leinster put out. If I was a betting man, I would have put money that Leinster would have easily won this game, but that was not the case. Glasgow is becoming a force to be reckoned with, especially at home. They're becoming a very tough team to beat. And I did see a comment about this the other day. I read an article that said these Scotland teams, especially when they're playing their best players, especially Glasgow, these club teams are becoming almost like France teams, where if you play them at home, it's pretty much you're going to see how much you're going to try lose by. Just hope it's a close game, because these teams are very tough to beat at home. It's very tough to go to Scotland in their conditions, even if it's good conditions with the atmosphere there, small stadium, crowd closer to the field. It just feels like the atmosphere there is so electric, and the home team is just going to be buzzing from it and playing a much better game. But a massive win for Glasgow. This will be a really big confidence booster, not only for the team overall, but for the players that weren't even first choice players that are going forward now know that they can beat some of the better teams in the tournament. And yes, Leinster didn't have all their best players there. Obviously, their forward pack would look a lot different. But if you're talking the likes of a Hugo Keenan, Rico Ioane, Sam Prendergast, all these big time players that have played in the World Cup quarterfinals, World Cup finals, British and Irish Lions tours, even against each other in the British and Irish Lions tours, you'd think that they should at least be keeping it closer than this, but no, Glasgow just played phenomenal rugby. But we're going to be seeing here how Glasgow made the difference, who is the standout players, and what this means for the tournament going forward. So some of the things that really stand out to me from this game, that Leinster and Glasgow were really close when it came to post-contact meters. Kicks were pretty much precisely the same. Carries were the same. 22-meter entries were the same. But the 22-meter conversion rate is where Glasgow really pulled away from Leinster here, as well as line breaks. So Glasgow entered the 22 of Leinster 11 times. Leinster entering the Glasgow 22 10 times. So it's very even. But Glasgow scored an average of 3.4 points per entry, so at least a penalty and more per entry, whereas Leinster scored an average of 1.7 points per entry. Normally this is a place where Leinster is really good, they're really dangerous, they kind of pride themselves on always scoring points, whether it's 3 points or a try, they're always scoring points. But now in this game, Glasgow's defense really worked well for them. They didn't allow Leinster to capitalize on those opportunities, and this just shows, I mean, 11 entries and 10 entries is pretty much the same amount, but Glasgow scoring nearly 2 points more on average per entry just shows that that was really where the difference maker was in the game. So just looking at the defensive profile here, Leinster actually made 4 more dominant tackles than Glasgow, which is a really big momentum stopper, but still couldn't stop Glasgow in the game. Normally these dominant tackle counts really have a big impact in the game. It could be a tackle count that makes a big dominant tackle, big turnover, penalty, opposition's ball, go score in the corner, or just a big opportunity from it. But Leinster just couldn't capitalize on these opportunities. Everywhere else, I mean, the tackle offloads allowed, tackle turnovers won, tackles missed, tackles made was all pretty similar, to be honest. I mean, if you think tackles made, 158 for Glasgow, 178 for Leinster. Tackles missed, 20 for Leinster, 14 for Glasgow. Yes, 6 tackles missed, difference is still a lot, but overall, the dominant tackles is where it really makes a big difference. And 6 dominant tackles to 2 is actually a big difference, but Leinster just could not capitalize on it. So just looking at the match summary, penalty goals 0 for either team. Maybe Leinster could have tried to put a bit more scoreboard pressure on. Tries, 6 tries for Glasgow, 3 tries for Leinster, 4 conversions for Glasgow, 1 for Leinster. So 2 missed kicks there as well for Leinster as well as for Glasgow, but scoring more tries always helps. 138 carries for Glasgow, 150 carries for Leinster. Line breaks, 8 line breaks for Glasgow, 4 line breaks for Leinster. And we know Leinster is a team that really thrives in a line break. So if they don't get those line breaks, if they don't get those opportunities, they kind of go into this place where they don't know what they're doing. And if they try to play too many phases, that's where the mistakes start creeping in, and that's where Glasgow can start taking the opportunities. Turnovers lost 9 for Glasgow, 12 for Leinster. Turnovers won 6 and 5, so pretty similar. Just looking at the possession, the overall possession of the game, pretty much 50-50, 49% for Glasgow, 51% for Leinster, so no real dominance there in the possession. Set plays, set piece, 100% win rate scrum time for both teams, and line-out win rates, 100% win rate for Glasgow, 92% win rate for Leinster. So the set-piece battle, really good from both teams. Both teams were really clean there. And to be fair, it was a really good game of rugby to watch. There were just some plays, some phases where Glasgow were just so much more potent, so much more dangerous, capitalizing on the opportunities, and Leinster just... they were off it a little bit, I'd say, because I mean, with the team they have, they probably should have been the favourites to win this game, and they probably were the favourites to win this game. But to get 20 points scored against you, 20 points difference in a game like this, it's a bit unacceptable. And if this is how it's going to go in the playoffs, then Glasgow really are the team to beat. Looking at the attack, 187 passes for Glasgow, 259 passes for Leinster, just showing that Leinster was really trying to force stuff, maybe trying too much to force stuff, especially when the momentum was killed. Rather kick the ball away, try to get the ball back with the aerial game, but no, they tried to force things and it just didn't work out for them, because this Leinster team has been a team that have really expected every time they throw the ball around to find some sort of line break, some sort of opportunity, and some sort of try scoring that's happening, but no, it didn't happen in this game. Post-contact meters, 440 for Glasgow, 424 for Leinster, so very even. Turnovers won 6 and 5. Turnovers lost 12 for Leinster, 9 for Glasgow. Overall in the stats, a really close game. The big difference though, 22-meter conversion rates. You have to convert once you're in the 22, and Glasgow did this very well. To be fair, right now I'd probably say that Glasgow is the best team in the URC. For the last 5 years, Leinster's always been the best team. Yes, they only won it for the first time, the URC version of it last year, but for the last 4 or 5 years, or 4 years, however long the tournament's been running, Leinster have been the better team by far in the entire competition. But that is really taking a bit of a change right now. If we just look at the table, Glasgow's in number 1 position right now. Now this might not be updated, it might update after the weekend, but Glasgow on number 1 with 50 points, Ulster number 2 with 42 points, Stormers number 3 with 41 points, Leinster number 4 with 41 points, Cardiff with 40 points, Munster with 39 points, Lions with 38 points, Bulls with 35 points. It's really close. And normally the team that's in the lead, you'd expect it to be Leinster. You'd expect Leinster to be far in the lead with the best possible chance of playing in the home final. But no, right now they're number 4. And teams like Cardiff are chasing them. Teams like Munster are chasing them. There's still a lot of games left to be played, yes, but it's looking a bit different this year for Leinster. I mean, yes, they've got a very good squad. They kind of are playing the second string squad sometimes, and sometimes their first string squad. And to be honest, their whole entire like A team doesn't normally really play all the games in the URC, but that might have to start changing soon. Yes, they've got the Champions Cup coming up, but they've got a really big last few games of the URC as well, where that's going to be the difference maker between having a home semi-final or not. And if they play away, they're not the best team away from home. They've been beaten before. They've been beaten by the Bulls before, I think twice as well. They've been beaten by Glasgow. They've been beaten by Munster. So anything can happen. And this Leinster team, if you look at them as a squad, they probably are the strongest squad. They're the defending champions. But right now, if they don't get into that top 4, I think their chances of winning the tournament significantly decrease. But they still have some really good international players. And I think those international players as well, now they're back from injury, they're looking really good. They're playing some of their best rugby. So when they get the whole team together, I mean, can you think of the likes of Joe McCarthy, Erge Snyman, Jack Conan, Josh van der Fleer, Caelan Doris, Jameson Gibson-Park, all these guys on the field together. It's going to be Gary Ringrose as well. It's going to be really good rugby to watch. Jamie Osborne. I mean, when you get all those guys on the field together, it's going to be a bit of a different team. But some other teams are getting out some really quality teams as well. I mean, Glasgow, with all the Scotland players they have, can really challenge anyone. Ulster's got some really good international players as well. When things really click for them, they look like one of the better teams. Stormers, a very dangerous team with some really good Springbok players. The Bulls team as well, kind of finding their feet. And they have a lot of Springbok players. A Springbok fly-off added to the mix as well. Some really good scrummaging props. Really good squad depth there as well. So overall, from the top 8 here, when it does get to the playoffs, it's going to be very exciting. I honestly don't know who's going to win those games. And what I like about the tournament this year is that when it gets to the quarterfinals, it's going to be a 50-50 from the quarterfinals of who's going to win. It's not going to be, okay, we know Leinster's going to absolutely thump this team and this team's going to just go there and try their best. No, it's every single team that's playing in the top 10 right now, even in the top 12, has a chance of winning the tournament, and it's really good to see. But yeah, Leinster, they're going to have to bounce back from this one. I think they will. Glasgow sitting firmly on top of the table. Really exciting right now. Glasgow looks like the team to beat. Even in the Champions Cup, they got a game coming up against the Bulls. That's going to be absolutely exciting. Leinster as well with a chance to win the Champions Cup. So both these teams right now have to manage their players. I do think Glasgow is probably in a better opportunity where if they play a weaker team in the URC, they can manage their players a bit so that they can target those Champions Cup games as well. But right now, Glasgow looking good. Leinster still looking good, but not as good as previous years. But they're going to try to bounce back from this. A massive win for Glasgow. 22-meter entries, 22-meter conversion rate where the big difference was made. Glasgow looking like the team to beat. And Leinster on the up, but still need to get back to what they were. If you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. We'll be covering all the URC games, from previews to match reactions to team of the weeks to week reviews, week previews as well. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.